together.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I'm turning some sage up for fucking...
Yes,
Get
sir.
all that bad energy out of there.
Most definitely, bro.
Alright. And we got I got my little mascot.
Where'd you get this at?
My homegirl's mom gave it to me.
Oh, wow. Blessings.
Yeah. So, okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Burn the Wagon. We're here to verbally burn the wagon that is capitalism, patriarchy, and colonialism. I have the homie here with me, Hands, today. We're going to talk about a couple different things. What's up, money? We're going to talk about a couple different things. Talk about his business endeavors. We're going to talk about if he celebrates during Thanksgiving or gathers during Thanksgiving time. We're going to talk about what land back means to him. And we're also going to talk about what decolonization means to him. So first, we'll start it off by kind of giving a little intro, and then we'll talk about your entrepreneurial.
Yeah, most definitely. So appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for welcoming me. It's been a minute. Definitely wanted to link with you in person. I'm glad we got to. First and foremost, give a big shout out to Creator. To all my relations. I'm glad to be here another day, living and breathing. I think any day above ground is a good day to be alive. Regardless what you may be going through, what hardships and troubles and struggles you're facing, you're going to get through and brighter days are coming. So, for that. And then second, let me give a big shout out to small native businesses. I love to represent my native businesses because I got one and I love to support. But even better than that, I love to support people because it's a feeling that you get when you're able to be like, you know, and get something amazing. You're like, damn, this is my heritage. This is a part of my people. So shout out to Denoku. Got this from Mudcat Hoagland. Denoku drew it. And then also real quick, got a little artwork right here. Shout out to the homegirl, Juliana Acosta. She got down on this one. I'm not 100% done yet, still a little bit. But big shout out, every chance that I can, any chance that I can, I'm going to support my local artists, my native artists, and even my Hispanic artists and people. Like, I pulled over just to get some flowers the other day. And man, it's a good feeling, you know? So keep supporting your native artists. Don't ever feel, like you've done it too much or you're not enough. And even if you don't got finances, those likes, those shares, and those tagging people, that does a lot too.
Absolutely.
So, I wanted to get that out the way. But, next, so I'm Hands. We've done something before, so I think the people are a little bit acquainted with who I am. I run Indigenous Infusions, which is a CBD company. Also Complex Minorities, which is a clothing brand. And then I also run a printing company. If you have any of your printing needs, merchandise, custom shirts, all of that, hit me up. And websites, all that. I mean, the list goes on. But most importantly, I'm an entrepreneur that has a heart for our people. And I want to break the cycle. I come from poverty. I come from the reservation where, we're not used to having a lot of things. And I just want to change the narrative for our people, for my child. I just had a baby this year. And so it put a little extra fire behind me. Like I got a reason, like every single day now. I can't just sit on the couch. Even when I'm sick, I'm trying to think, what's the next move? What's my next plot? And so that's what inspires me every single day. Like I look and I see so much talent on the res that meme, almost not meme, but in a sense, it's, we weren't deprived of our talent, but the resources. There's so much talent on the res and further than that for the people that got off that as well. And so if you guys have a certain talent or you guys feel like you guys haven't developed it yet, start practicing it every day and you're going to get better and better. And one day it's going to lead you to the place that you always imagine you can go. And I feel like for me, you can never dream too far, too big, too small, none of that. And, it's just about what you want to do as an individual. And so from that, like, keep chasing your dreams, keep moving forward, because that's what pushes me every day and why I have the couple companies that I have. And so moving on, I'm from Hopland Banapomo Indians. I'm also Karuk from up north, and grew up on the reservation until I was about 15, and then I moved to Ukiah, and ultimately I feel like coming from the res, we have a little of a different like swag to us, almost in a sense, and sometimes we can't relate to that. So growing up, I was able to, relate to my people, but then like also I got along with everybody. So it was like a little bit of a confusion within that, but like, within it all, like I knew that like no matter what, that I wanted to do this for my people, you know, and like forget trying to please anybody or any of that, because no matter what, like you guys represent somebody that gave birth to you, you know, and at the end of the day, like we carry their names and the people that aren't here no more. And so within that, man, like every day I live to try to see how I can strive to make a better life for me and for my people as well.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So 100%. That was a little scattered, you know. Sometimes I get,
no.
you know, 100%. But my heart sometimes just goes all over. And
last time we didn't really talk about the Hoplin Res. I've never really been to the Hoplin Res.
Yeah.
How many?
So we actually just got built a new housing, which is I think is going to be housing 10 or 15 brand new houses for families.
Yeah.
And we also have two housing, so this will be the third one. And then our res is a good size, but we actually don't have our casino anymore. So every time everyone's like, "Oh, what's up with the Hoplin Casino?" I'm like, "Hey, it's coming back one day, but not today." You know, I don't know.
What was it called again?
Shokawa Casino.
Shokawa, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Does that translate to anything?
I couldn't say right now off top. I would have to ask my peoples before I try to butcher anything or, you know, give the wrong impression or whatever. So at the moment, I'm not right now. I can't say, but just because I don't know.
Yeah.
But most definitely.
So let's hop into. You've been pushing cryptocurrency on the internet, and before we were talking like we aren't taught like financial. Like how to financially be set and how to like save, what to like invest in and stuff like that. Just kind of talk about like your investments and what you want to do with that.
Shoot, anything that grows in value, whether it's silver, gold, stocks, real estate, or cryptocurrency, or starting a business, anything that you're gonna be able to put money into and it's gonna grow in value, I think is a good investment. That's the way I look at investments. For crypto, I look at it as like a passive investment. I put money into certain projects I feel like are gonna, you know, exceed my expectations, and then they do, you know, usually, but based upon the research that I do. But to keep it very, very simple, crypto is kind of like stocks, but it's starting to really like change the game. Mm-hmm. It's revolutionizing like a whole bunch of things, to the point where like Facebook, you know, that metaverse, Nike Land, they're starting to have these things, and I just see the whole shift in where the world is going towards in this whole crypto space. So for me, like last year I started hopping on it, and I was able to make some money, and I think the goal for me is I want to be able to use these small investments, make a little bit of a bigger investment, and then hopefully buy a house one day, you know, and multiple houses. And while doing that, like I think for me, like, cause I'm a visual person, I want to document the whole process. So it's like, I'll show people like, hey, this is how I invested in crypto. I saved my change for a whole month. Mm-hmm. Okay. I went and every time I store, I put change, bam, filled up like one of like a gallon water bottle, fill that up, right? And then you, instead of taking it to the change dispenser where they're going to take a little bit, no, you get the little wraps and you wrap them. Yeah. Then you go turn that into your bank. And now at the end of the day, like, it's not coming out of your paycheck directly. It was what you kind of put aside and you're able to. Now let's just say it was $50 or $100. You're putting that money into the market. You're going to allow the market to do what it's due. You're still going to work every day, you know, doing what, you know, you have to do. But now you have investments that are working for you. Your money is in turn working for you while you're still working for it. So now you got two people working for your money. Yeah. You know, what's the way that I look at it. And so within that, I think it's so important because we don't talk about it too much. Our parents, they never talked about it so much. And I'm not mad at them or anything because it's just, you know, with our resources. It goes back to we didn't have the resources, but now we do. What we're talking on right now, what we are looking on our phone every day, our phones, that's our resources. And so like now we have the resources to be able to look this stuff up. And I would just recommend, if you don't know anything about crypto, look it up. Type it on YouTube. What is cryptocurrency? You're gonna get a million videos and watch the ones with the highest views, take a little bit of notes, and then do your own research. And it's a new year, so if you haven't been investing in it at all this year, challenge yourself a little bit, you know, save your change or you know, make muffins, sell muffins and cookies. And then from there, bam, whatever profit you make, any little bit. Cause I always think that like there's an excuse if you don't want it bad enough. But if you want it bad enough, it doesn't matter how much it costs, you'll get it.
Yeah.
You know, and so within that, that's how I treat it.
That's what's up, man. And like for me, it's like the savings part is like the hardest because like we talked about this before. Like when we got the stimulus check, I was like, all right, I'm already gonna get some shoes. I'm already get some whatever tattoo. Yeah. But like I didn't invest it or I didn't buy anything that was gonna last me long term.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we have to teach is not this instant gratification buys. We have to think long term buys. You know, and that's a little bit because you know we all love our Jordans, we all love our flashy clothes, we all you know what I mean. But yeah, we have to teach them the right investments and the right way to save and the right way to invest. You know?
Yeah. 100%, bro. That gratification. It's I read something where it's like you delay self gratification right now, and in the next few years, your life's gonna be a lot better than if you had bought in that one little thing that you wanted. And it's weird, but just a little testimony, real quick. I didn't expect this one coin. It went crazy, but I tell people now, like a pair of Jordans, $200, right? That's how much I put in this one coin. Basically, a pair of Jordans now had appreciated to $3,000. And that's what I was able to pull out of one coin. And to be honest, it was a risky coin. It was, you know, this and that, and I'm not going to go into that. But I just want to show the power of me putting money into a project that is a cryptocurrency. And you really don't know what could happen. You know, Shiba, Doge, there's thousands of coins. And there's different strategies. So it's like there's smarter coins where there's no risk that like, oh, half your money will be gone tomorrow because they've been around already for 5+ years and they're going to be around for 10+ years. But like, you know, within having those different ones, like I was able to what it cost me for a pair of Jordans, pull out $3,000. And so for me now, I'm like, okay, I got this down. You know, what is this going to mean moving forward? Yeah. Well, now moving forward, like whenever I go to the mall, like if I need it, like I'm going to grab, my shoes are running out, like, okay, I'm going to grab some new shoes, but I'm not going to go for the top. Like I took my shoes off, but I just bought a pair of Skechers. Yeah. On God, bro. And, I think, hey, I just wanted to say that for the record, bro. Like I literally bought a pair of Skechers because they're the most comfortable pair of shoes that I've ever worn. 100%. They got memory foam. But all that to say is it doesn't matter. Like you're going to look flashy on the outside, but like your bank account's not going to look right if you focus too much on the outside flashiness. And so, you know, when you look at Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, these guys, they're wearing Skechers with a 900 credit score. You know, it ain't even 850 no more. It's 900. And so within that, like, let's start to adjust and shift our mind to different things because maybe that's why sometimes, like, why can't we get off the res? Why can't that? Well, how many bottles of Hennessy do you buy a month? Yeah. You know, or how much do you spend on weed at the club? Like, and all of these different, even Starbucks. I had to check myself, bro. I was getting Starbucks almost every day, and I was like, I get it from me and my lady. That's $15 almost every day. You know, and just that quick math, I'm like, that could have been a few bands in the market. Yeah. You know, so that's why, like, now me making a little bit of my profits, it changed my mind because I'm like, well, shoot. It's not just $30 anymore. This could have been $300. Mm-hmm. That coffee now is $300 almost. And so that's the way I look at it within this market. And it's a good thing or a bad thing. You just got to have your strategies.
Yeah. All right. So now I kind of want to shift into, so first you kind of pointed out native artists and it's got the regalia and we got Thanksgiving coming up.
Fuck Christopher Columbus, for the record.
I just kind of want to ask, you know, do you and your family gather during Thanksgiving or do anything during Thanksgiving time? Because I know that's a question I've been asked a couple times by people. Because me personally, I do like to gather and eat food during that time. And last year we fed a bunch of people downtown. That are unhoused, so
salute, bro.
Yeah, so that's a big thing. Is just for me as long as you acknowledge what actually happened that day and during the history of that time is acknowledgement. You know, as long as you're not celebrating. Oh yeah, the Pilgrims and Natives.
Yeah. Because there are people with different intentions where they like, and it's sad, but like they will be like that. Yeah. You know, and last year with our politics, it showed that, you know. But to answer your question, we come together and we gather and we eat. We like to bring our family together whenever we can, and just so happens to be during these times that it lines up with Thanksgiving. Now, I don't necessarily say like, yeah, I rock with Thanksgiving, and I'm like, hey, when I see someone in the store, happy Thanksgiving, because like, nah, like that's not who I am. But like, I'm also not gonna be like, I'm not gonna eat on this day because of that specifically. Yeah. But like, you know, within what you said, like, so for me, it's just knowing what it represented and how it had all of the truths, the truths behind it. And then from there, being able to have the right intentions, you know, because family's important. And any day that you get a chance to celebrate with family, even if it just lines up on one of these holidays, take advantage of that. Because I got family that ain't here no more, you know, and we've all lost loved ones, and, you know, you never know when your loved one's going to go, so spend as much time with them as you can. But also, for the record, I almost don't like celebrating none of these holidays no more, bro. Even Christmas. I'm telling my baby, Santa didn't get you that. Dad got you that. Hey, Santa got you that little cheap-ass thing, you know. But it's just, I feel like we focus too much on these holidays, and we lose touch with who we are as people. Like, Black Friday shopping. Yeah. We are killing people over the last TV. Yeah. We are losing our values over these damn holidays. We'll go broke. We'll sign up for a new credit card just to max it out and might not even pay it off just to get those presents. You know, and it's like, you know what? You could be doing something small, you know, throughout the year that'll be way better than just a whole bunch of presents under a tree, you know, or coming together within that. So, you know, I got a weird, like, I'm not saying I don't like Christmas and all that. You know, I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying sometimes, you know, when these seasons come on, like, you know, we move a little different, you know? Yeah. It's all I'm trying to say.
People start acting a certain way.
Yeah.
And those blinders kind of
you acting brand new.
Yeah. those blinders kind of go on. It's like, I only see me and my family and what we need. But what I was going to say is, what you said about family in our native family, it's huge, you know. So you give us a reason to gather and eat together.
We there.
Yeah,
we there.
We're not gonna pass it up.
No, Aunt cooking.
Yeah,
Auntie. She getting down. You know I'm there.
And my mom loves to cook. You give her an opportunity to cook for a bunch of people, she's taking it. No hands down, no questions asked. Mm-hmm. But that moving into the next question is that what does land back mean to you?
Yeah, bro. I mean, every single day I feel like we see something happening where it's like, you know, they're taking advantage of our resources, our land, and they're acting like it was theirs to begin with, and they have the control. Like, even like the pipeline thing, man, going back to that, it's just like, I wasn't there like when it happened, but like, you know, the media isn't going to show you the truth. Like, they were shooting rubber bullets at our people that could have killed us, blinded us. Probably still a couple people got really badly injured, you know, and they don't want to bring that up. You know, they don't want to mention that. So within that, like, I mean, I see that it has been happening for so long, and it still isn't, nothing's changed, you know, but I think what we could do to help change is continuing every day to build that awareness. Your platform shining light, you know, other platforms coming together. And the more and more that we bring up conversations like this and awareness, then hopefully we can have people not necessarily get more sensitive to it, but just more open-minded, that it's like, you know what, us natives are here and we've been fighting for so long for what is ours. Why do we have to fight for what is already ours and been ours for so long? You know, it doesn't make sense. And watching, like, I watched one of those land back videos, bro, and I'm not even gonna lie, it almost gave me tears to see that, like, where I'm at in Cali, like, that really doesn't happen too often, you know? Like, I'm gonna be 100. We're almost kind of privileged in a sense to where we don't have to really battle that type of sense. And, like, since we're not, like, maybe we should be going a little harder for our folks that are in the actual field, you know, and within that, that's why I really love your platform, man. Like, I salute that, because every day you're trying to think of something, you know, new to share and uplifting and motivating and awareness and you know, never letting us forget those loved ones. MMIW. Yeah. Never, bro. And it's because it's like, just because a few days went on, it doesn't matter. So within that, like, I mean, shoot, just because we're not facing those problems like, you know, in our field like that, doesn't mean that they're not happening. And sometimes the media won't share the highlight of that too much. And so within that, like, I think, you know, we definitely got to continue to fight more.
Yeah.
You know, we need all our land back. Let's be 100. Like, I want to see more natives in the Congress. I want to see more native politics. Like, I hate politics sometimes, but maybe I wouldn't if we had the right people in there.
Yeah.
You know? Like, all politics aren't supposed to be bad, but they look like it.
And it needs to be different than, you know, old white guys or just white people or just the token minority, you know. We need actual people because our world is much different than because a lifelong politician only knows the life of a lifelong politician.
Exactly.
They don't know a life of a regular person like me and you, and they don't see the actual regular people, working class people that are out in the world. So to make all these regulations, make all these rules, make all these bills, make all these decisions, it's a little bit, it's you know, it doesn't make sense because they aren't actually here with us. They're not living with us. They're not working.
It's like, how are you relating to me?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like a social worker that's white and he comes to the res and like, I know how you feel. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You know, it's
and
like,
that's no knock against them because they
no, I'm not.
they are trying. They are wanting
They are
to help,
trying. Yeah, I'm not throwing no shade.
Yeah.
Because I salute the person that's trying. You know, because there's natives that won't even try, and I've seen white people that are more advocating for our native people. So
absolutely.
Nothing like that. Please don't interpret that 100%.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just we need to absolutely be more uplifting to these people that are going through this, because you're right. You know, in California, we don't have people building pipelines through land. We don't have these big corporations like Chevron trying to, except for down south in San Diego, but up in here in Northern California, it doesn't really happen that much. But what we're dealing with is the logging and the destroying of the redwood trees, the destroying of the tan oaks.
And then even up north, like the dams with the dams that are messing up the waterways for the salmon.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, up north, like they don't want to highlight that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, what's good for, you know, a small certain percentage of people is really hurting a lot of people. So it's like, with all this money that we have, there can't be any other ways to make it happen. You know, I started to think within that.
And is your tribe doing any like buying up of any land, like anything like that that's outside of the reservation?
Lately, no, but that has been something that's been on my mind, and I know that, you know, I give it time for me to mature. I'm still fairly young. I'm 25. You know, give me a chance to experience life a little bit more, and you know, maybe one day I'll run for my tribal council along with some of my peers, and that could be something that is brought up, because I think it's important that, you know, we could try to acquire as much as possible, because, I mean, you don't look at just the appreciation and all of that, right? It's just the fact that now we own this, the ownership, you know, of us having this, like, you know, and the fact that, like, now it's like we have to buy land that is our own.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but it's like, if that's what it takes, like, sometimes it's like, all right, then you really can't. And then on documentation, you can't come over here.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, so I think if tribes are able to, definitely try to. I would love to see a little bit like of financial literacy courses in these, so that we could bring these conversations up. Like, hey, tribes, how can we make it so that in 10 years we could buy this property over here? Mm-hmm. Sometimes we don't think of it like that. Like, you know, we don't have these 5 to 10 year plans. We're just day to day. And so I think if we had classes like this, maybe the conversations would be brought up and we would learn throughout those years. Yo, we build this strategy, we can acquire 10, you know, superettes that the tribe owns. Like, there was a superette in our town, and I was like, yo, we need to hop on this. Like, I brought it to a couple attention, but I guess it was just the renovations and everything was too pricey. But I just thought, like, my whole scope was like, how long has this superette been here? I asked my pops. He's like, oh, easily 50 years. And I was like, so that means you put a little bit more money in the next 50 years, it'll still be around. But people don't look ahead of that.
And
you
is
know?
that a grocery store? Or
It was the Hopland Superette, which was a grocery store. They had meat, deli, and all of that. Yeah. And so it was dope. And I thought it would have been sick, like, if our tribe would have bought that. And I mean, I'm not in position to make those calls, but I mean, I can only just offer my suggestion. And now that I am investing and all that, like things start to come into my mind. I'm like, yo, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
How can we do this? And it's like, yeah, we don't have a casino, but like, what could we develop that could then put money into do this type of stuff? And so
and give jobs to people.
If the tribe owns the Super Red, I would hope
Yeah.
we get first dibs on jobs.
Yeah.
So if y'all working though, y'all can't be
Yeah.
showing up late, no call, no show. Hey.
Quitting after the first
I
paycheck.
know. Hey, it's Indian Friday when you get paid on Thursday and you don't show up Friday. Damn.
Quit after the first
Quit.
paycheck.
It'd be like that though. Hey, I see y'all. Salute.
And that's another thing I want to bring into this podcast is that native humor. Because it's constantly constantly talking shit to people, to each other.
Hey, and as natives, we just know, bro. Like, and it's a different like. I done laughed at stuff where like, other groups of individuals would have been like, what? And it wasn't even like nothing extreme, but it was just like, yo, only on the res you would see. What you call it, blankets as curtains.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that in any other, like, not really. The 49er blanket on the wall, like,
or the,
just over it.
Or the door.
Yeah. You got a door, now you do.
That's always, the door's always got holes in it because there's so many punched it.
Rough, bro. Rough.
All right, we're talking about the res. Now let's talk about decolonization. Because that's a big thing for this podcast. If you're just joining us, this is Burn the Wagon.
I got a couple more minutes too, big dog. I gotta hit the road.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yup.
Yeah, we're Burn the Wagon. We're talking about burning down the wagon that is patriarchy, colonialism, and capitalism. So, our last question is, what does decolonization mean to you?
Okay. Well, I mean, this is a big subject, within a lot of people. But I think that within it all, man, like, we have been programmed a certain way, and it was messed up because, like, we were almost brainwashed to stop thinking this way, and for us to have our own traditions and culture, and for somebody to come in and just be like, nah, you can't have that, take our children away, and the boarding schools, and within that, like, every child matters, I think we've been through a lot as a people. And so I see that sometimes even hinder us going forward, all the scars, the turmoil and everything that we've came through. And so within it all, it's like, I mean, we've been through so much, it almost seems impossible. Where do we go from here? And within that, like, I try to think of like, all my answers. Like when I feel like giving up, bro, and it sounds weird, but like whenever I feel like giving up because I had a bad day, I just start to think like, what did my ancestors go through?
Yeah.
Like, how could I throw the towel in because I had some just random bad day at work when, first of all, I can even work.
Yeah.
I can drive to work.
Yeah.
I have food. Like, I can go to lunch from all of that. It's like, how am I still, or when I got into my new crib this year, how dare I be mad at anything almost like, so within that, like, I see like, we've been held back for so long, and sometimes it doesn't, give us that direction moving forward. But it's like, what, like we've came far as natives, and they really tried to remove every ounce from us that they could, and we're still here today. So it's like, I want to say like, let's not let anything hold us back. Let's not let any of our struggles, our troubles, or the oppression, because they want to. They don't want to see natives in the hierarchy. Like we were just talking about politics. They don't ever want to see that type of stuff. But if we continue to fight, maybe one day we can. Like, we've seen a couple native representatives and stuff like that. But the more and more we bring up conversations like this, we get educated, we start to come together, like-minded individuals, and all of that. Like, that's the stronger we're able to get and be able to accumulate more.
Absolutely.
And so within that, like, and we can eliminate and make sure that our children never have to go through that. They'll be educated on what took place, but that won't happen to them because we made sure that, within that.
Absolutely.
And so, I know it's probably didn't answer your question too much, but I mean, within that, like, I mean, shoot, that's what I would say.
Yeah. And I just think decolonization to me just means getting back to a way of thinking, that's not for example, not a 5-day work week. We push ourselves so much for 5 days, 40 hours a week. back to certain type of healing for ourselves, getting back to that natural medicine of the earth, protecting the earth in a certain way, like you said, those people are doing from protecting those pipelines going in. That's a way of decolonization, thinking we don't need that pipeline, we don't need that money, we don't need that oil. The oil can stay in the earth, Those are the way of thinking for me. It's just, I'm just asking people's own thought of decolonization.
100%.
But yeah, thank you for joining me. I know you got to get out of here.
One last thing I wanted to say real quick though before we end. All of our native entrepreneurs, man, now is the time to turn it up. For real, for real. We got a new year that we're going into. Don't hold back. If you wanted to paint that picture, you wanted to make that t-shirt, you wanted to make that song, that video, I don't care what it is, start to create. Now is the time that we stop letting our fears, our emotions dictate where we're going. Because the risk of not taking a risk is gonna far outweigh the one of, within that. So take that risk. Don't be afraid. Like, fail. I pray that you would fail a couple times so that on your third time, you come back so hard and that the next 10 times are just outstanding. You're going to have to fail a couple times because then you're going to learn how to do it better next time. So native artists, please continue to create, challenge yourself going into the next year to invest, to read a book, try something different. Let's change our way of thinking within that, and for our leaders too, if you feel like our youth should be doing something different, or you feel like they are not on the right path or whatever, grab them by the hand and lead them. Don't condemn them. Don't condemn them and criticize them, because it could be a lot worse. I know 25-year-olds that are hooked on meth, and it's sad, even younger than that. And it's like, how? How? And within that, let's fight for our brothers and sisters. Let's encourage one another. Let's not say, oh, you should be doing this a little bit differently. No, you know what? I'm glad you're doing that. Hey, let me show you how to do this a little bit better. There's always a different approach within things. And sometimes I feel like if it's a different individual, the wrong criticism might make them never want to chase their dreams again. Ruin it for them for the rest of their life. But for me, it just makes me go harder. But not everybody's like that. So within that, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not cool. It's just not for you.
Yeah.
And within that, keep creating. Don't let nobody ever hinder your greatness, hold you back or anything. Because we as Native people have come too far to just come this far. Oh, for all my relations, loved ones, appreciate you guys.
And I just wanted to tell you, somebody said, the stronger we are able to be together. So yes. So somebody's feeling that in that one. So yeah, definitely.
Blessings, man. Hey, shout out to everybody paying attention today and watching. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man. Much love, y'all.
So thank you guys for joining Burn the Wagon. We're here to burn the wagon that is patriarchy, colonialism, and capitalism. So thank you. Peace and love. See ya.
Oh!